In the world of sports, you've got your athletes, you've got your legends, and then you have Bo Jackson. For this brief, unbelievably brilliant moment in time, his name was more than just a name. It was a full-blown phenomenon. This is his incredible story.
I mean, if you were lucky enough to see him play, you get it. Bo Jackson didn't just feel real, he felt impossible. Like some kind of folk hero wearing shoulder pads and baseball cleats. He was the kind of athlete where you had to see the things he did to believe them, and even then, you'd probably still be questioning your own eyes.
So, that brings us to the ultimate sports debate, right? The one that gets argued in every bar and on every talk show. Was Bo Jackson the greatest athlete of all time? It's a massive claim. So let's actually dig in, look at the evidence, and see if it holds up.
Okay, the case for Bo being the GOAT. It starts with the fact that, honestly, is still just staggering. He is the only athlete in history to be named an All-Star in Major League Baseball and a Pro Bowler in the NFL. I mean, think about that for a second. Those selections are for the absolute best of the best in each league. To reach the very peak of two completely different, incredibly punishing pro sports at the exact same time, he's in a category all by himself.
But Bo's legend wasn't just built on the field. In the late 80s, he became a massive cultural icon, all thanks to one of the most famous ad campaigns ever made.
Yeah, this simple little phrase, Bo knows, was the core of a huge Nike campaign that made him a household name. The ads were awesome. They showed him trying to play tennis, hockey, even jamming on guitar with the blues legend Bo Diddley. And the message was simple. Bo could do anything. And for a while, it really seemed like he could.
But here's the thing. This incredible talent didn't just appear out of nowhere. To really get the legend of Bo, you have to go all the way back to the beginning, to his high school days in Alabama, where he was already a phenomenon.
I mean, just look at these numbers from his high school career. They're just ridiculous. A star running back in football, a record-setting home run hitter in baseball, and then there was track and field. He was so dominant in the decathlon, which is this brutal 10-event competition, that he'd often build up such a huge lead that he could just skip the final event, the 1,500-meter run, and still win the whole thing.
He was so good that the New York Yankees drafted him straight out of high school. But Bo said no. And you got to hear why. Because he had made a promise to his mother that he would be the first person in his family to go to a major college. That one decision tells you pretty much everything you need to know about his character.
And yeah, that decision definitely paid off. In 1985, while he was playing for the Auburn Tigers, Bo Jackson reached the absolute summit of college football. He won the Heisman Trophy as the best player in the entire nation.
All right, so after conquering college football, it was time for the pros. And for Bo, that didn't just mean one league, it meant leagues, plural. This is where he went out and did the impossible, dominating two professional sports at once.
So get this. In 1989, he's a baseball all-star for the Kansas City Royals. The very next year, in 1990, he's a Pro Bowler for the Los Angeles Raiders. Let's be clear, this wasn't some side hustle or a hobby. He wasn't just participating. He was an elite, top-tier star in both leagues at the same time.
As a running back for the Raiders, man, he was just a human highlight reel. He even shared the backfield with a legend, Marcus Allen, and Bo still stood out. His combination of world-class sprinter speed and a linebacker's raw power was something the NFL had just never seen before.
So, picture this. It's 1987. There's this Seattle Seahawks linebacker, Brian the Boz Bosworth. He was a huge media sensation, known for his crazy hair and even crazier trash talk. Before a big nationally televised game, he guaranteed everyone he was going to shut Bo Jackson down.
So, what happened next? Oh, it's the stuff of legend. Bo didn't just run around Bosworth. He ran straight over him into the end zone for a touchdown. Then, just for good measure, he ripped off this incredible 91-yard touchdown run, and he finished the night with a Monday Night Football record of 221 yards. Yeah, that's how you answer trash talk.
And believe it or not, his baseball highlights were just as incredible. He was famous for these almost superhuman feats of strength, like casually snapping a baseball bat over his knee like it was a twig. And who could ever forget the wall run, where he made a catch while literally running sideways along the outfield wall?
But his defining baseball moment probably came in the 1989 All-Star Game. On the biggest stage, in his very first at-bat, he launched an absolute monster of a home run, 448 feet, to lead off the game. He was named the MVP. and it cemented his status as one of baseball's biggest stars.
So, he's at the absolute peak of his powers, a king in two different sports. It truly seemed like nothing could stop him. But then, in an instant, everything changed.
I mean, for an athlete who seemed genuinely indestructible, what could possibly stop him?
The answer was so shockingly simple and just devastating. It was a routine tackle. In a 1991 NFL playoff game, Bo was brought down on a completely normal-looking play, but it turned out to be anything but normal.
That tackle dislocated his hip. The injury was so severe it actually cut off the blood supply to the bone. It's a condition called avascular necrosis, and just like that, his football career was over. Done.
Now, for most athletes, that is the end of the story. They'd retire, and who could blame them? But we're talking about Bo Jackson. His story wasn't over, not even close. What came next was one of the most inspiring comebacks in the history of sports. So after that career-ending injury, he undergoes total hip replacement surgery. And then he does the unthinkable. He returns to professional baseball with the Chicago White Sox, becoming the first major athlete to ever play with an artificial hip. And he didn't just play. In 1993, he was named the American League's Comeback Player of the Year.
And the comeback story, it has an ending that feels like it's straight out of a Hollywood movie. Right before his mother passed away, Bo promised her that when he came back, he'd hit a home run just for her. And in his very first at-bat after the surgery, he did exactly that. It's a moment that's just bigger than sports.
But the story doesn't just end there on that emotional high. Years later, with a much greater understanding of the long-term dangers of football, Bo offered this absolutely stunning reflection. It's such a powerful statement from a man who once seemed invincible, and it forces all of us to reconsider the price of greatness and the true meaning of his incredible, complicated legacy.